Hello, everybody. Welcome to Look Around the Confederation. I'm your host for the evening, Moose. And before we get started, please remember that the views and opinions expressed in this broadcast are not necessarily the views and opinions of the SCV, its GEC, nor any divisions, brigade, camps, or any other subsidiaries. How is everybody doing in Dixieland tonight? It is good to be back. It is good to see everybody. We're going to wait for everybody to come on for a second. I'm going to have a bit more of a relaxed night. My computer wasn't working for a second, so around the Pop-Tart break, I'm going to switch back to it. But I wanted to go ahead and get started and see everybody and see how everybody's doing. We got a bit of news. Remember to send your news to me, and it will be on the upcoming episode of Look Around the Confederation. All right. Good evening. Good to see everybody. Good to see Garrett. Long time no see. Oh, yeah. Texas had a cold front. Bless y'all's heart. Oh, my gosh. I had a bit of a cold front. It wasn't too bad. Not in southern Mississippi, but northern Mississippi got a bit of one. I went up there for a work trip. And it was pretty cold. And then I heard about how bad Texas was having it, and I feel so bad for y'all. Golly. Oh, poor Texas. Y'all like Mississippians. Y'all are not made for that type of weather. Ooh. But I'm glad y'all are thawing out now. But yeah, we're gonna go with a bit of news, and I got a bit of a topic tonight, and we'll explain it a bit as we get to it. It's not going to be a super long episode tonight. We're just going to sit back, relax, and get some news out of the way and talk about something that's been on my mind for a while now. But we have our Chief Heritage Operations, Mr. Ron Kennedy, in the chat. he's thankful that the Texas waited till the Kennedy twins got home to Louisiana before they turned cold and icy. It's good to see our Chief of Heritage Operations in the chat. Remember to share this out, people. Let's get the news out that we are live. I had a guest for this evening, but me and him both talked about it. Me and him thought it'd be better if we postponed it so me and him could be a bit more prepared, and I cannot wait to announce hopefully next week's episode at some point. I have to check my calendar. I got to make sure it's good with him, but I got something special planned hopefully for the next episode of Look Around the Confederation. We have the Army of Trans-Mississippi Councilman Charles Ray in the chat. Good to see you, sir. Good to see everybody. All right, so we're going to get in a bit of news. Again, not too much. And then we're going to get tonight's topic. We're just going to talk about it for a bit. Again, not going to be a long episode tonight, folks. Just going over the news and hopefully talking about the SCV and coming up with plans together. So our first bit of news is it's a weather alert. If you have not seen this, you are not living. All right. So our groundhog, the southern groundhog, the south groundhog, General Beauregard Lee says that we will have an early spring in the South this year. Fun fact, the southern groundhog is actually more accurate than the Yankees groundhog. And it just proves to show you the South was always right in 1861, and the South is still right today. So I thought I was going to throw that in there. I always get a kick out of it. It somehow almost slips my mind every year until I find it across my Facebook page, and it's beautiful. Makes me smile every year. But I'm not actually a spring person, so I was hoping for a couple more days of winter, a couple more weeks, but can't complain. Spring's got to come sometime. So I'm happy that General Beauregard Lee is telling me, he's giving me a heads up so I can be prepared. All right. On to our actual bit of news. Just a quick reminder about the, let me get it up here, the Stephen D. Lee Institute. It will be on February 24th to the 26th in Tampa, Florida. Ain't that just awesome? They have a list of great speakers, and as always, I would highly encourage to go to the Stephen D. Lee Institute if you can. I wish I could go this year. I'm a bit heartbroken that I can't, but that's just how the chips fell this year. But I hope to go next year. But make sure that if you can go. It's a great learning experience. You will always pick something good up. And again, this is where we have a meeting of the minds on how to move forward with the charge and protect our Confederate ancestry and heritage. So if you can go, please go. If you want more information about the Stephen D. Lee Institute, let me get it ready for you real quick. The link is now in the chat. Nope, that's not it. There it is. Let's see here. Let's get it in there. There it goes. All right, so if you want more information about the Stephen D. Lee Institute, the information is in the chat below. Let's see here. I saw where a large college/university changed the campus name because the person was a Southern slave owner. The family is demanding the university return the $50 million original donation. Wow. Yeah, Mr. Ron, that's a whole other can of worms that me and you will have to get into one day. It's just getting stupid. I could go on a whole rant about that, but we'll save that for another day. So again, Stephen D. Lee Institute will be February 24th through the 26th in Tampa, Florida. Great line of speakers. Make sure you go check them out. And again, the website is not only scrolling across the screen right now, it is in the chat. So make sure you go support them. All right, we got a good bit of news here. The Winston County Grays Camp 1788 and the Jenny Brooks Johnson OCR Camp 18 on January 21st, 2023 held their 8th annual Lee Jackson celebration in Hollyville, Alabama. They had 69 members and guests present. There were wonderful Southern foods, awards, great speakers, and followed by period music and dance. I'm glad that y'all had a successful Lee Jackson banquet. It looks like y'all had a fantastic time. And it's always good. These banquets are great for getting the message out, honoring these two great men, and of course, bringing people together. The SCV and OCR, we really do big on Lee Jackson banquets, and that's awesome. I love to see it. People always usually pull out all the stops for it, and it's always a guaranteed must-go-to event every year, whoever is hosting it. So I'm glad y'all had a great event. I'm glad that y'all had a whole lot of people there, and it really does make me smile to see that y'all are thriving and that you guys are forwarding the charge. So thank you. All right, next bit of news. Well, we have Mr. Sean from Look Around Florida in the chat. Good to see you, sir. Good to see you. All right. I believe we're kind of already going on our last bit of news, and it's going to be the interesting one. We had this fumble up last week. Have I learned my lesson? Will I be able to pronounce this poor camp's name right? Only time will tell. But we do have another Lee Jackson banquet on February 18th. You'll get there around 5:30 p.m., dinner at 6 p.m., and the program will start at 6:30 p.m. It's going to be at the Moose Lodge, and this Lee Jackson banquet is going to be another good one, folks. So make sure if you can attend the Yadkin Grays Eagles Camp 1765 Lee Jackson banquet. hopefully I did y'all right this time and I pronounced your camp's name right. Please forgive me if I have not. It is an ongoing joke on the show, sadly, that for some reason the person that has trouble pronouncing certain things was put in charge of reading out news. We still do not know how this happened. I still blame Connor. So if you have a problem, just blame Connor. It's what we all do in the Mississippi Division anyway. Uh, just blame Connor. Let's see here. Can y'all do an episodes on which states are southerner or how big the Confederate would have gotten if we own? What? Well, let me reread that again. Can y'all do an episode on which states are southern and how big the Confederacy would have gotten if we won the war? That is an interesting what if scenario. I don't know if we can do a full episode on it. We might not. Let me write down that idea. It's a great idea. We can talk about it one day for sure. Camp 1388 is in the chat. Good to see you, Mr. John. Good to see you indeed. So of course people blow up my phone. Everybody knows. It's not even SCV members, but they automatically know what I do. And it's just, it's always someone blowing up my phone these days, which I guess can be a good thing. All right. We do not have any more news, it looks like. I will hit everybody with a sponsorship, and we are going to, oh, wait, that's not it. Let me get that. Yeah, there we go. And we will hit a quick Pop-Tart break. I'm going to switch over to my computer. It's going to be a bit easier than this. And we'll go into tonight's little special topic. Again, it's not anything big, and we'll talk about it more in a second. It's just something I have on my mind and something I want to hear y'all's opinion on specifically. But without further ado, we're going to hit our quick sponsors. Tonight's episode, or tonight's news, has been brought to you by Southern Flags and Quilts. Southern Flags and Quilts are a Southern-owned company. You're not sending your money to the Yankees. You're not sending your money overseas. You are keeping it in the Southland and keeping it, more importantly, with someone that cares about our Confederate heritage. And they're not just using this to make a quick buck. They actually care. Every flag is made sure to be historically accurate and made with so much love and affection that you will I can almost promise you that you will be satisfied with this order. If you do not believe me, just take a look at some of their work. It is just outstanding. These flags are just absolutely beautiful. And again, I can tell you that I was extremely pleased, and she does phenomenal work because she made the SCV chat flag. So make sure to go support Southern Flags and Quilts. Get your historically accurate flag today, and make sure you keep that money in the South. Don't send it to some Yankee who doesn't really care. Don't send it overseas to someone who doesn't care. Share it, and let's keep it in the circle of the South, and more importantly, keep it in the circle of the people that actually care about our heritage. So go support Southern Flags and Quilts. Link is in the chat now, I believe, and of course, it'll be scrolling across our screen for the whole commercial Pop-Tart break. Again, thank you, Southern Flags and Quilts, and we'll be right back after this Pop-Tart break.
There is a place nestled in the rolling farmland of southern Middle Tennessee. A home constructed in 1837, nearly lost to the ravages of war. Saved by a servant and a Confederate general. A place where families loved and lost. If walls could talk, what stories could be told? If a place, a home, can feel love, loss, pain, surely this is one of those places. Nearby is a more recent structure, and inside are the stories of heroes and heroines, stories of battles won and lost, stories of sacrifices made by the people of its native soil. A place that will tell the true and complete story of the Southland and the war fought for its freedom. From the causes that led to the conflict to the modern-day struggles to protect Southern history. Historic Elm Springs and the Confederate Museum at Elm Springs are the general headquarters for the Sons of Confederate Veterans. A place where the story of the Southland and its historic struggle is preserved and told. Come and discover your history.
All right, welcome back. I want to thank everybody and ask again for everybody, please share this episode out. Let's get some good numbers and let's make sure this news is getting out to the public. Let me see. We got a couple questions, I'm pretty sure, during the break. Have you seen the documentary CSA, Confederate States of America? I have not. So I don't know. It's more likely historically inaccurate if it was made recently at all. But I'll take a look at it. RH. I will certainly do that. We got the Louisiana Division in the chat, and we got the Army of Trans-Mississippi in the chat. Greetings, greetings. It's always good to have a division and an army in the chat. Always special. Let's see here. Yes, greetings, Mr. Stephen. Do you know what SCV camps are like in progressive states like California, Oregon, Hawaii, and New York? Are how different are these camps in their divisions? Well, I've not personally been to a camp outside of Dixie, but I have met the gentlemen from these camps outside of Dixie, and I can say without a doubt they are working their butt off to forward the cause, defend the Confederate soldiers' good name, and protect history. I mean, what more can you ask for? They're legit, not even a bit in the enemy lines. They are in enemy territory. And, you know, I sometimes it gets bad here in Mississippi, and that's a sad thing to say. It does get bad here in Mississippi, but I could not imagine how it is to defend the cause in a California, Oregon, Hawaii, New York. Hawaii might actually have a bit. They do have a small separatist. What's the term I'm looking for? They have a small movement that actually does not want to be part of America. They feel like America forced them into it. And I was like, you know what? I feel that. Aren't we all? But I don't know. I've never been to these divisions. I've never been to these camps. I would love the opportunity to go one day. It's just going to come down to money and time. And I would, again, love to see this, to go out there and be able to answer that question for you a bit better, Foster. Yeah, where is Cousin Vinny? Cousin Vinny would be perfect for this question. Poor Cousin Vinny's in New Jersey. And here it is from, the mouth of a national officer, our chief of heritage operations, Mr. Ron Candy. He says that his brother, our lieutenant commander-in-chief, has been to camps in California and the Northwest. He says they are some of the strongest Confederates we have. And I believe that. Let's think about it, people. They probably don't get the what am I trying? Sometimes when you have something in your life, your whole life, you can sometimes take it for granted. And so I think probably those places out there, they have a little bit less than us, sadly. And they fight to keep what they have and to fight to teach real history. So I can't thank them enough. Again, I would love to go to their division reunions. I would love to go meet a camp out there just to hear what they're doing. I wouldn't want to speak. I just want to sit in the background and hear what they're doing. I have no doubt that they do phenomenal work out there. Yeah, tag cousin Vinny into this topic. I plan on making a trip to Elm Springs in the next month or two. Not too far of a drive from Savannah. Well, please do. Our headquarters is an absolutely beautiful place, and our museum is absolutely beautiful. And of course, you get to visit General Forrest while you're there and his wife. I would make sure you can go to the National Confederate Museum on Facebook and make sure you check, everything. Make sure you're going at a good time. Make sure it's not closed that day. Make sure you plan ahead a little bit. That way, you'll have a good time. Garrett says it was like $7 and it was great. Oh, I have no doubt. I've been able to go to the museum a couple times and I've got to see its transformation very slowly, and it's amazing. I'm absolutely in love with it, and I'm just so happy about how far it has come. Oh yes, cousin Vinny, we were asking about let's see the exact question. We're talking about camps that are outside of Dixie. And since you are in New Jersey, we thought you'd be perfect. Mr. Foster wants to know, what are SCV camps or divisions like in progressive states like California, Oregon, Hawaii, and New York? How different are their camps and their divisions? So he just wanted to know, how different is it to be a SCV member in an SCV camp in an SCV division that's not in the South, not in Dixie? Well, please do, Mr. Foster. They need help just as well. We all need help. But any way you can find a way to forward the charge and forward the cause and protect history, protect our Confederate heritage, you need to do it. It is your duty. And these camps that are outside of Dixie, they are fighting with all their heart to make sure that that we stay true to that. And so I can't again give them enough credit and thanks. Yeah, it is a good question, isn't it, Vinny? Sorry, but yeah, no, I would love to go out there for a couple days, a week, and just go around seeing these SCV camps, what they're doing. And I don't know how I can help, but I'd love to help in any way I can. Any other topics we want to talk about for a bit? I got a couple things, and we can go back to just talking about random SCV stuff whenever we want to. I just wanted to, let's see here. Okay. I just had something I want to talk about. So it's a little weird because I don't like, we brought people on, for national elections. I don't know if we'll ever do that for elections down. For those who do not know, I'm running for 5th Brigade Councilman in the Mississippi Division. And this isn't about me. This is about something that I've been saying during my campaign. And I wanted to talk about it and talk about my standpoint on it and talk about what I would love to see spread around the Mississippi division and hopefully the national organization one day. Let's see. We got a couple things. Vinny answered this question, of course. He said it ain't easy. In addition to fighting against all the woke ideology, we become fighters. We have our limited history in these states. California has so much Confederate history thanks to the amazing UGC ladies who are strong out there. At one point, they had a Dixie Manor, a CSA Veterans Home in Los Angeles. I had no idea about this. Our camps get creative. We do flagging events, memorial services, and are spreading out. And we try to raise funds for mega flags or memorials. There you go. Straight from the horse's mouth, someone who is behind enemy lines, Cousin Vinny from New Jersey. I would love to see New Jersey get a bit stronger. They have some great people out there, and I know they can do it. And they do a lot of great work out there again, people. Let's not take what we have in the southern states for granted, because again, there are people that are fighting just as hard and sometimes even harder than we are to protect Confederate history when they don't have a whole lot of it in their state or in their area. And I can't thank you guys enough for what y'all do. Let's see here. See, last time I was in the Pacific Northwest Division meeting in Idaho, I met not only SCV members, but the average citizens who just supported Southern history and culture. That is awesome. That again is from our chief. I'm so used to introducing Ron, our Lieutenant Commander in Chief, Walter D. Donnie Kennedy. Thank you again, sir. Do you think? I think California would have left the Union if we would have won. Yes. But you never know these things. Divisions in many blue states combine, like the Pacific Northwest Division. I would like to see New Jersey unite with other states and do a Northeast Division. That would be awesome. And we would also, when meeting in the northern states, we find creative ways to meet. Dixie-friendly places, and half the meetings are virtual. Let me pull this up here. Let's see where I was. In addition, our camps personally are very close with our amazing UDC. In these states, there are zero drama because we are all under the same amount of attacks. To the southern states, unite and fight. Oh, Cousin Vinny, if that is not a perfect segue into my little topic. Oh, that is beautiful. I could not set that up better. Cousin Vinny, I cannot thank you enough for that. 1 second. Let's see here. 1 second. Sorry. Okay. Sorry, I had to answer that message. Our camp has a zero drama zone. We are working on a second SCV camp when we all work together. And so that goes into my topic, my quick topic for tonight, which is what I've been running on. Again, this is not about me running. This is just about the ideal and why I am running, and something I would like to see more of. Live the charge, SCV first. I made that for the Mississippi Division, and then I made this, just for the whole national organization, live the charge, SCV first. And people have been asking me, what do I mean by SCV first? Of course, I'm not talking about SCV first in our whole lives. For me personally, first, the thing that comes first in my whole life is my Lord and Savior. Second is my family. What I mean by SCV first is when you are doing things in the SCV, if you're doing things for Confederate history, if you're doing things to forward the charge that we were given, put the SCV first in that. If you put the SCV first, you're putting the Confederate veteran first, for that is the reason for the SCV. And the reason this started for me personally, and again, I'm piggybacking off Cousin Vinny, the zero drama zone they have up there. Sometimes there can be a lot of drama, and that's with every organization. It really is. It's not that we're special in that regard. Don't get me wrong. But sometimes stuff like that gets in the way of our fight. A lot of people don't think about what is best for the organization of the SCV or what is best for the Confederate veteran. They think, what is best to get my ideas through? What is best to get my agenda through? And in the end, that can hurt us. And I can see it hurting us a lot of the times already. People are just, they attack Southern brothers, Southern sisters for no reason other than They might be friends with someone they don't like, or they don't like this person, so they cannot work with them. So they must tear down every single thing this person's trying to do. And it just hurts my heart. We should, if you do not like the person, you don't like their ideas of what they're doing, that is the most beautiful thing about this organization. You can go to the camp level and you can do what your ideas were. You can forward the charge another way. You don't have to like someone to not work with them. And I'm going to read off some quotes in a minute by Robert E. Lee and Jefferson Davis, mainly Jefferson Davis. I just found a good bit of his quotes before we get started. And my thought process on this is, okay, I don't like what this guy's doing. I don't like his plan. I'm going to go over here and do my plan. And maybe this guy doesn't work. His plan doesn't work. Okay, well, I haven't been tearing him down. I haven't been trying to stop the plan from working. Maybe he'll reach out to me and we can do my plan. Or maybe after the next term cycle, maybe it's my idea's time to shine. We don't have to be negative. We don't have to tear each other down. We can work together without being friends or without liking someone's idea. You can do your own thing. That's what's great about this organization. We're all not just one singular driving focus idea. We can be when needed. That's what the national level's for. But states, divisions, camps, you have the opportunity to do many, many things for the cause, for the charge, for the Confederate veteran. And I see so many people, instead of putting all their work into, okay, well, we lost this one, boys. They didn't like our idea, or we lost this election, or a guy I really don't like just won. Well, better luck next time. Go up to the guy, shake his hand. You know what? If you need me, you let me know. I'm going to go over here and do what I think is best. You do what you do. And if you ever need me, call. No, we spend all of our effort, all of our time, any second to just trying to destroy that person. And it hurts me so much. It really kills me because we're supposed to be a Southern brotherhood, united in blood, a debt that we did not pay for, our dues do not pay for. The Southern Confederate soldier, the Confederate veteran paid for our right to be in this organization. And then they asked us, they gave us the charge to protect, honor the Confederate veterans' good name. And sometimes personal feelings, personal vendettas get in the way of that. And so that's my meaning behind SCV first. You can get rid of drama if you get rid of the humans. Best we can do is remember the Lord's commandments, do unto others as you would have them do unto you. I could not agree more. There's always going to be drama. I'm not saying there will be ever a time and place where we can cut out all the drama, cut out all the disagreements, but I think there's a way to work better together. We are fighting a war for our heritage. I describe it all the time as we are fighting a cold civil war for our heritage. And our enemy doesn't have to do too much. They just do something every now and then, and they see our response, and we fight among ourselves. And there's too much on the line for that. There's too much on the line on personal vendetta getting in the way of defending the Confederate soldiers' good name. There's too much on the line. Confederate and Southern heritage, as we know it, is on the line. I don't want to have to look my kids in the eye, my grandkids in the eye, 40, 50 years from now, and be like, yep, we had a good chance to save it all, but now y'all can't even celebrate Robert E. Lee Day by yourself. You can't even post stuff on social media with you being happy. You can't even be in the organization, the Sons of Confederate Veterans, because it could ruin your job opportunities. That is the future that we are heading towards if we do not stand up and fight. And there's many good ways to fight. We have a lot of good ideas, and we talk about them on the show all the time. Tonight, I'm just focusing on how to work together, how to stop the inward fighting. I don't have all the answers. I'm 24 years old. I do not have all the answers to life. I wish I did. I really wish I did. But I do know there is a better way than what sometimes we do right now. And I'm only speaking from my personal experience. I love the fact that Cousin Vinny has very little drama in what his SCV camp does in New Jersey. Zero drama. Love it. Bit jealous. That's awesome. And, I can't agree more when Vinny said, where is it right here? To our southern states, unite and fight. You know how much we can get done if we united to fight? I know that we will win this Cold War if we unite and fight for our history and heritage. I know without a shadow of doubt in my mind we can win this. I know it. And I know we can do it without, okay, well, I really don't like this guy. That's fine. That's fine. He might have done something to you. My policy is forgive, but don't forget. That's okay. But here's what you can do with that. Okay, well, he really did me dirty. I really don't like him. I maybe not be able to even trust him, maybe. But I can do this over here. I don't have to spend my whole time attacking this person and trying to destroy every single thing they do, and try my best to make sure that they never have a chance to do anything in SCV again. Like, it is just, whew. Sometimes, inward fighting is always going to be an issue. It's going to be an issue with all organizations. Drama is always going to happen. But if we stick to the mission, if we put the SCV first, if we stick to the charge, if we live the charge, and we put all our personal feelings aside like Robert E. Lee would have done, like Jefferson Davis would have done, and focused on what are we doing? What is the SCV's mission? What is our mission as the sons and daughters of the South? And let's focus on that. What can I do for the charge? What can I do for the Sons of Confederate Veterans? What can I do for the United Daughters of the Confederacy? What can I do for whatever Confederate organization you are a part of? What can you do for it? And don't focus solely on what this other person's doing and trying your best in life to tear it down, but focusing on just the charge. SCV first. And that is what I mean by that. And, I get a bit fired up on this topic because I've seen it happen so many times. Good ideas are just derailed because people don't like each other. I've seen a whole, and again, I'm not going to name names where this is. I've traveled. I'm well traveled in the southern states of this organization. And I've just seen people spend whole term cycles trying to ruin just one guy. Whatever he tries to do in this organization, they try to ruin it every single time, any of his plans. And the only reason they can come up with is I don't like him. And so it really hurts me to see that. If we fought our enemies like we fought ourselves, oh my gosh, we wouldn't even be in this situation right now. I truly believe that. And again, I truly believe we can win this war. We just need to unite. Be that Southern brotherhood. Be that Southern sisterhood. Unite over the cause. Unite over the Confederate soldier. Now, I'm going to take a quick little break, and we're going to kind of wrap things up. That's really all I'm going to say about it for right now. But when I get back, we're going to finish out the episode.
When my mother was in college, she danced with Confederate veterans. To me, it wasn't that far away. My father knew this. My mother knew this. Almost 50 years ago, I joined the Sons of Confederate Veterans. In those days, we weren't concerned about saving monuments or any of those things. That wasn't necessary. In fact, none of us had any remote idea that it would ever come up. We can't just sit there and react. We have to be proactive. Or, as Robert E. Lee said, the best way to disrupt your enemy's plans is to strike first. Everyone should do all in his power to collect and disseminate the truth, in the hope that it may find a place in history and descend to posterity. History is not the relation of campaigns and battles and generals or other individuals, but that which shows the principles for which the South contended and which justified her struggle for those principles. If you're looking for some place to be where you think you're going to accomplish something to save our history, go to the Sons of Confederate Veterans. I'm Thomas Lee Jesse. I'm a descendant of Private Daughtery Gilmer, a Confederate veteran.
All right, we're back, and we're going to end it up. I have a couple quotes. I might post them later. It's Jefferson Davis talking about Robert E. Lee and how Robert E. Lee would always take a couple hits on the chin. He would never try to shift the blame on someone. He didn't want to attack a fellow Southerner fighting for the cause. Instead, he would perfectly have no problem with taking the blame and taking one on the chin. And that's what it's going to take. It's going to take peacemakers. It's going to take people that, okay, this guy just threw a jab at me, man, and it hurt. It stung a little bit. But you know what? I don't care. I am only in this for the Confederate soldier. I'm not in this for myself. I'm not in it for personal glory. I'm in it only for the Confederate veteran. And if my name, Harrison, Moose, whatever one, sometimes takes a hit, and sometimes lies are a bit spread, and sometimes rumors are spread, I'm okay with that as long as I can protect the Confederate soldier's good name. That's all I care about. This history, protecting this history, doing my part in that, doing my Southern duty as a son of the South, as a son of Mississippi. That's all I care about. I don't care what you say behind closed doors about me. I don't care, yeah, it'll hurt a bit for the betrayal. It will hurt a sting a bit, what you say, what you lie about me. But that's okay. As long as we can focus together on what's important. You might not like me, but we can work together. And that's what I'd like to see in the SCV. And that's my hope for a brighter future in the SCV. And again, I didn't want to make this about myself. I just wanted to explain what I was saying, what I've been talking about for people who do follow my SCV page. That is what I mean by SCV first. I truly believe in putting the SCV first in personal vendettas, personal beliefs, anything in this organization. I will put the SCV first. Cousin Vinny said something I kind of like here. You may cry, you may hurt, you may feel like there's no end in sight, but our ancestors went through far worse. Take everything you can on the chin, people. Don't fight back. Don't tear someone else down just because you can. Don't lash out on social media. Don't try to sabotage this person just because you don't like them. Take one on the chin. Take one for the team. And protect the Confederate veterans' good name. Let's see. We got a good couple comments. Well, thank you. I'm glad that y'all are able to listen to that. Again, please share this episode out just for the news. I'm not trying to use this platform to get over the fact I'm running for office. I just thought that this was something important to share. It's the reason I'm running. And I think it's an issue that we all kind of face. And I hope what I'm saying might influence others to help in this fight, be peacemakers in the SCV, and be leaders of the war that we are fighting outside of this organization. Let's see here. Yeah, high tempers happen all the time. Never answer a critic. It drives them crazy. Wise man, wise words. Thank you, Dr. Mitchell. Our Chief of Heritage Operations says, don't take a division or national office if you cannot take criticism. Hopefully, it will be constructive criticism and not just destructive. Hey, Jack, thank you for tuning in. I just got on a little rant box. Um, um, I hope everybody enjoys this. Again, please share it out, and please tell me what you think of my little thing of SCV first, and how we can improve this organization, because that's what this is only about. Uh, I'm not going to talk about it long. I'm going to answer Cousin Vinny's question because, again, I don't want to make it about myself. That wasn't the purpose of this conversation. No, I'm not running for division commander. I'm not eligible, first off. And second off, I'm just too young right now, in my opinion, for that position. I'm only 24. I think I want to get a couple more years on me before I even think about it. I'm running for 5th Brigade Councilman, and that's I'm just going to end it on that. I don't want to talk about what I'm doing. I want to talk about why I felt so strongly about SCV first, the drama, and what we can do to improve the SCV and thus improve protecting the Confederate soldiers' good name. Yes, I see it happen far, far too much, sadly. I'm sorry. Yes, Mr. Gaines, I believe. Yeah, I see it happen. You see it in camp versus camp, division quarrels, army. I don't see it much on the army level. National level, people really just say stuff on social media sometimes, and it just, oh, don't get me started on that. I get it. We all get frustrated, but I feel like if you lower your rage on some matters, the answer will be revealed to you. Calmness wins most fights in that regard. Thank you, sir. Let's see here. Good leaders know also that being controlling ain't the way to go. Agreed. What you're saying is the mark of a good leader. You're already ahead. And thank you, Mr. Tom. Again, I just wanted to focus on, again, the SCV first and making sure that people understand, it's okay not to like someone. It's okay if someone stabbed you in the back and you don't want to work with them. I've always said, again, forgive, but don't forget the Bible. Again, if you are Christian, is something I go by. No matter how many times your brother has stabbed you in the back, again, I'm heavily paraphrasing this scripture, trying my best not to butcher it and misinterpret it, but forgive them. And then you can talk about, Robert E. Lee. There was a battle someone blamed on him for losing. And it was someone else's fault for not following his orders. And I can't remember the exact battle, but Lee never corrected this person that was ranting on him, this governor, if I'm not mistaken. He never corrected him. He took it on the chin. He didn't want to throw his fellow Southerner under the bus, no matter how mad he was at this gentleman. He was not the one to push blame. He put it on his back and carried it, took it on the chin because he knew that person was fighting for the same cause that we all are. And that's what we need to do. You might not like someone. Okay, that's fine. But you don't have to spend all your time trying to tear this person down. You can just focus on the cause. What can you do during this time where, okay, you might not have any, I hate to say it this way, it sounds weird, swing on your local DEC. Okay, well, that's fine. Go to your camp, go to your brigade. Okay, guys, what can we do to forward the cause? Okay, that sounds awesome. Let's do it. Okay, maybe your division doesn't want to put up a new monument. Well, man, maybe you can try to do it. That's the perfect thing about this organization. There's so many ways to honor, defend, and protect your Confederate heritage and to forward the cause. There's so many different ways we can win this war and how we need different ways to win this war. So try to find a different way than causing drama, than trying to cause conflict, than just trying to hurt someone. I saw a while ago, I can't remember exactly where it was. It wasn't in the Mississippi Division, but this person asked this presiding officer a question, and he asked it knowing some behind-the-scenes stuff that this man was grieving about. And it just, it was rough. And you just don't need to do that. There's no need in that. So let's see here. I know we're all going to continue talking. Yes, our enemies are very well funded. Our enemies are very well funded. We talk about it tonight all the time. That's why we got to raise money. This Cold War is not fought via bullets or fights or anything like our war between the states was. It's fought with the dollar. It's fought over minds. This is going to be completely different than the war our ancestors fought. But we still need to fight it. Great to talk tonight. If we don't hang together, yeah, we will for sure. If we don't unite, we will fall. Simple as that. Let's see here. Our Lieutenant Commander-in-Chief has said that the SCV's national poll proved that 60% of Americans, not just Southerners, love the South and our history. Again, that's going back to, I'm so glad you posted that, Commander. And going back to, I know we can win this war for our heritage, and make sure that either the monuments go back up when we start putting new ones together, our children, the next generation, aren't brainwashed, the Confederate soldier is not talked about in dirt, and they're not drugged down by anybody that is just historically illiterate. We can win this war. We just need to unite. That's all we need to do. And we have the backing. Let us take advantage of this 60% and fight. So, what is a good book on what'd you send, Jack? What'd you say? Sorry. Jack, let me know about that workday. Send it to me via my personal cell, please. I'll see if I can make it out. I don't know if I can or not. But let me check. We can win. We must fight, and fight smart. Amen. And with that, I think that is a perfect way to stop this evening, actually. Garrett, I don't know off the top of my head, but we do have a lot of great historians in here that will be happy to help you. So someone could help Garrett in he's looking for some good books on the CSS Savannah. But, oh, well, let's see here. Sorry, y'all have great comments coming in. I wish I could sit back and look at them all. But yes, we must fight, and we must fight smart. I couldn't agree with you more, Lieutenant Commander-in-Chief. Thank you for these comments. Thank you to the Kennedy twins for these comments. Thank you for Cousin Vinny for coming on and giving me a great segue and great talking point. Remember to tune in Monday, 7 o'clock, Confederate Standard Time, same Confederate place. I'm trying to get GCB on the phone. We're trying to plan something. We got something good either way. I'm just trying to make sure I can get them on the phone before we start promoting it. But stay tuned to that. Make sure you share this. Let's get the news out. And make sure if you have a camper division project you'd like to talk live on Look Around the Confederation, you can email us at scvyouthoutreach@gmail.com. And please send your news, your pictures, your short videos, and write-ups to scvyouthoutreach@gmail.com, and you will be featured on the upcoming episode of Look Around the Confederation. I want to thank you all for tuning in on Facebook, on YouTube. We hopefully have some bigger things in store for you in the future. And I guess without further ado, I'm just going to tell you to please stay Southern, my friends, and I'll see you Monday. All right. Good night, everybody. No Fumar in the elevator.